Before we jump into the latest Browns news and rumors, I sit next to our Steelers Talk host here at Chat Sports, Jeremy, and we talk shit to each other a lot. So if you hate the Steelers or if you want free Browns coverage, either one works. Just hit that big red button, subscribe, and let's catch up to Steelers Talk here at Chat Sports. Today's Browns Report is presented to you by Aura, an all-in-one digital safety company that keeps yourself and your wallet protected when you are online. We'll tell you more about them later on in the show, but start your 14-day free trial right now at aura.com/chatsports. That link's in the comments and the description. Now, let's get into the latest Cleveland Browns news and rumors. We like to have fun with this segment, with this episode, so we like to use Bernie Kosar heads, right? We do a range of 0 to 4 Bernie heads, 0 being fake news, 4 being Believeland, and we just build our way up. So, the first story on today's show is Jacoby Brissett able to go above 500 if he has to start all 17 games? I go 2 Bernie heads. I'm right in the middle, okay? I think if Jacoby Brissett has to start the entire season, he's right there at that 8-9, 9-8 threshold, okay? With the latest Deshaun Watson news regarding the New York Times article, there's a lot of speculation out there about a potential longer suspension on the horizon than maybe anticipated. I'm not saying what the New York Times said is true. Those are all allegations, and I'll leave it up to you to decide if you want to believe it or not. That's not what we're discussing today. But there is a lot of discussion about what would happen if Jacoby Brissett had to start all season. They signed him to that 1-year, $4.65 million contract after shipping off Case Keenum to Buffalo, which, by the way, if I were told you that the Browns traded a quarterback this offseason, you would have said Baker? No. Remember Case Keenum got traded? But this roster is loaded. There's no doubt about that, okay? If Jacoby Brissett has to play at this roster, they can do a lot of great things. This roster only got better. Just ignore the quarterback position for a second. From last year to this year, they essentially only improved. Last year, you had no OBJ for the second half of the season and a banged-up Jarvis Landry. You get Amari Cooper. That's kind of been forgotten this offseason. Amari's in town. And you drafted David Bell, and you're hoping to get a bigger breakout from DPJ and Schwartz. I think the defense only improved. You added some depth at the secondary. You brought back Clowney. You're going to get, hopefully, a full healthy year of now second-year player JOK. A lot of people should be taking huge steps forward this year. But the AFC, it also took a huge step forward. That's where I run into an issue with, hey, Jacoby Brissett in this roster should be able to go 9-8, 10-7, right? It's that talented. But unfortunately, look around a little bit. The entire AFC improved dramatically this offseason, essentially. Look at the Browns' 2022 schedule. I put arrows next to every single team, and the arrow reflects whether or not they improved or got worse this offseason. I think the Panthers got worse. I think the Jets improved. I think the Steelers stayed about the same. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like without Big Ben. Falcons got worse. The Chargers got way better. I think the Patriots got worse. They didn't do much, so if you don't move forward, you move backward. The Ravens are going to get healthy. They got better. Then you've got the Bengals, who I think got better. You have a bye. The Dolphins absolutely got better with Tyreek Hill. And then the back half of the schedule here, the Bills got better. The Bucs have Tom Brady. I'm not going to say they did not get better. The Texans, maybe marginally, but they definitely improved. Same for the Bengals and the Ravens once again. I think the Saints improved in the draft, and they're going to get Jameis Winston back healthy. We don't know when exactly. Washington didn't really do much. They probably stayed the same. They got Carson Wentz, so maybe it's better, but I don't know. You could also make the argument for subtraction by addition there. The Steelers, again, stay the same. And according to Warren Sharp at Pro Football Analysis, the Browns have the 8th easiest schedule based on Vegas's win totals for all the teams they are playing. So now we got to look at our friend Jacoby Brissett, because his best season, when he essentially started the full year for the Colts back in 2019, sub 3,000 yards, 18 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. Listen, the Browns were able to go 8 wins last year with a hurt quarterback from week 2 onward, minus 1 Case Keenum appearance, or 2 at the end of the year. I understand that Brissett is probably better than a hurt Baker, but let's not fool ourselves into Jacoby Brissett being an all-star backup quarterback. He's probably one of the better backups out there, but he is a backup, right? Let's not lose sight of that. And not often do backups go 10 wins in a full year. Contract. What will the Browns' record be if Jacoby Brissett starts all 17 games? Let me know what your predictions are down below in the comments section. I think it would look something like 9-8. I think a little above 500. Granted, you've got tons of talent elsewhere on this roster, but the quarterback position is the most important position without a doubt. Next story on the show is Odell Beckham Jr. now unlikely to return to the Browns. I give this one 3 Bernie heads. It always seemed like a bit of a long shot. He wants to stay in LA, it appears. Sean McVay wants to have him back. Now, they just extended Cooper Kupp, so maybe there's not the money for OBJ to return. But we'll explore the latest on this front in just a second. But I want to tell everyone watching about what's happening at Aura. Aura is a financial fraud protection company and identity theft protection company that keeps yourself online and your device secured and protected. Plus, if you've got some young ones in the family, they have family plans that protect up to 5 people. Start your free trial today, a 14-day free trial at aura.com/chatsports. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. Help yourself out by staying protected when you are online and not joining millions of Americans who have their identity hacked every single year. Going back to the OBJ rumors. So John Johnson, a while ago on Instagram, a long time ago, said OBJ coming back. You ain't hear from me, though. Well, he was asked about that when he spoke to the media yesterday on Wednesday. And he said, it was kind of a shot in the dark. That was me recruiting, honestly. There was no backstory to it. There was no insider information. It was just like, I want him here. I've got a feeling that he might come back, but I don't know. We'll see. Well, we absolutely will see, but I don't think anything's going to happen for quite some time. Okay? We all know that OBJ is recovering from that second ACL tear. I don't envision a GM offering him a contract this offseason when he can't play until probably November at the absolute earliest. But I think it's probably more like December, could even be January. Now, his recovery from this ACL tear is reportedly going better than the first one. But he'll wait and see who's looking good middle of the season and probably pick the favorite to win the Super Bowl and sign there. The reason why we're talking about it, though, is Nate Ulrich at the Akron Beacon Journal wrote about this. And he said, never say never in the NFL, but a league source said Wednesday it's unlikely the Browns will bring Beckham back. You're right, never say never, because we were told Deshaun Watson wasn't going to go to the Browns, and you were laughed at if you said Tyreek Hill would ever get traded. But if you want OBJ back, like the video if you do. If you don't want him back, just type P for pass, move on. Let's just move on from that chapter of Browns history. Let me know by getting your votes in. Third story on the show. Do the Browns have the top running back unit in the NFL? 4 Bernie heads. Cleveland. You can take it to the bank. There's no doubt about this, that the Cleveland Browns have the absolute best ground game out there. Pro Football Focus wrote an article ranking all 32 NFL running back units. And surprise, surprise, the Cleveland Browns finished at the top, as they should. Look who's in the picture. Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, 2 starting running backs on one team. There's really no other team like that, right? The Colts have Jonathan Taylor and Naheem Hines. It's really just Taylor carrying that squad. The Packers have a good 1-2 punch between Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Dalvin Cook is one of the best in the league, but is Alexander Madison really a starting running back? Maybe on a couple teams, but not like Kareem Hunt would be. Now, here's what Pro Football Focus had to say about this. Nick Chubb is arguably the best pure runner in the NFL. Over the last 4 seasons, Chubb ranks first among all qualifying running backs in PFF rushing grade, yards after contact per rushing attempt, and forced missed tackles per rushing attempt. They would go on to say, add in a second quality starting option, such as Kareem Hunt, behind him to go along with Dearness Johnson, and the Browns have the most talented backfield in the league. We've known this, right? Since Kareem Hunt, came over to the Browns in 2019, it has not been Batman and Robin. It's been Batman and another Batman, two Cape Crusaders. I mean, what Nick Chubb maybe lacks in the receiving department, Kareem Hunt complements it oh so well. 763 receiving yards, 6 receiving touchdowns, and 13 rushing touchdowns. He's had some injuries. He's missed some time, but he's also been a backup for most of the time, except when Chubb's missed a game here or there. Nothing comes close to Chunt. I mean, they are the best. It's not a 1-2 punch. It's a 1-1 punch. If you had to pick your poison, you die. There's just no other way around it, okay? If Nick Chubb's not going to be in the game, that's not going to make it any better if you just have to face Kareem Hunt. And same if there's no Kareem Hunt in the game. So that's where I stand on that. Before we wrap up the show, the other day, we were talking about a potential new stadium coming for the Browns. And I said, hey, we're going to do a bracket challenge. So comment your best stadium name, and we will vote on it. Here we go. We have 4 on today's show, and we'll have 4 more later on. But type the number for the stadium you like the most, whether it's the dog house / kennel. I kind of group that together. Of course, there's the plain old dog pound. You could type 3. Cleveland Browns Stadium, pretty generic. Or Cleveland Browns Municipal Stadium. So type 1 for the house / kennel, the dog house / kennel. Type 2 for Cleveland Browns Stadium. Type 3 for dog pound. Or type 4 for Cleveland Municipal Stadium. I will tally all the votes. I'll bring it down to the final 2, and we'll have a final 4 for the best stadium names sometime mid next week, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, by the way, at Matthew PD. That link's in the comments and the description of the show. So if you want follow someone else on Twitter that's talking about the latest brownies and whatnot, hit me up over there.